Welcome to our YouTube channel, where wisdom meets inspiration. In this channel, we share valuable insights to help you become the best version of yourself.
Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryankaravavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. The topic for today is accepting death. Death is amongst us in a very visible manner, has developed almost a kind of morbid focus on cremation, burial, and repeatedly highlighting so many people died. So death is on everyone's mind. Whether you go out on the streets or you sit at home, you are not safe. And you don't know when your turn will come next. So there is a kind of fear. And when you see it is coming closer, your own close relatives, friends, family members, and you wonder whether your name is there next in the list. In the first wave, we saw it was the old people, older generation, aged people. Now we see middle-aged and young people also going out. So that has made many people think deeply. At least they are focused on death. What is this death? How to understand this? So in that context, we will share some thoughts on death. And facing death has three aspects to it. First is facing my own death. Second, the death of my close relatives. It may be a father, mother, my husband, my wife, my son, my daughter, my brothers. These close relative, blood relatives, facing their death, which will be very painful. It will also be one of my best friends, that also can be painful. And then the third is death in society. My neighbor passed away, my colleague passed away, or my friends, one of my friends, acquaintances, they passed away. We see, we hear, I knew him, he passed away. So that death which does not affect me and create a big turmoil inside me, but I feel sad. And this second one where I am totally shaken because it is my closest bond, my father, mother, brother, husband, wife, someone passed away. And the other one is my own death, which I will have to face. Many are facing even now as we speak, as we now listen, there are people battling for their life in ICUs. And some of them may be in a denial mode. No, I'll become okay. Oh God, save me. And some probably are aware that they may not come out alive. They are facing death. It is happening in this rate, this moment when we are talking, it is happening. People are facing death in ICUs, at home. Now, when we speak of death, we usually use the English phrase life and death. We have discussed this in one of the earlier classes, but I think it is relevant for us to recollect that now. It is a Western concept for us. When we combine these two ideas, life and death, this is a wrong association of facts. It should actually be birth and death. When we speak in our own mother tongue, in India, we don't say life and death. We say janana marana, birth and death. Why? Because life is a continuous flow. It is beginningless, anadi. And it can also be endless, ananta, unless we realize the truth. If we realize the truth of what I am or my relationship with the Creator, then the cycle of birth and death ends. So birth and death are just two repeatedly occurring related events in life. Life is a continuous flow. There is a birth, which also means there is a death. If there is a birth, it means there is a death. There is only a gap, an interval of time between these two events, birth and death. That interval of gap varies for each one of us. There are Babies who die within an hour of being born, or within a day of being born. Some will live a month, 1 year. Some will die off in childhood, some in teenage, youth, middle age. Some go on until the old age, ripe old age. So the time will vary, but the events are definite. The moment you take birth, it is definite that you will be dying. So it is expressed like this, that death is your shadow. Death is your shadow. That means you cannot run away from your shadow. However far, however fast you may run, your shadow also runs with you. Similarly, death is part of you. You means this body. Who are you? You have taken birth. This is the body you have identified with. And in that sense only, death makes meaning. So life is a continuous existence in which there is this repeated birth and death. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jathare shayanam. Again you take birth, you grow in the womb of the mother, you come out, and the day you are conceived and the day you come out, your time starts ticking. We don't know how much the time is, but we know definitely there is a time when this body will perish. That is called death. In Mahabharata, the Yaksha asks Yudhishthira, what is the most wonderful thing? These are questions which we have to repeatedly recollect, because unless they go deep within us and shake our fixed mindsets, it will not transform our life. So this is a question which is very well known, but still it is worth remembering it again. The Yaksha is asking Yudhishthira in Mahabharata, what is the most wonderful thing in this life? And Yudhishthira replies, day after day, countless creatures are going to the abode of Yama. Yet, those that remain behind believe themselves to be immortal. What can be more wonderful than this? We have seen now so many people dying. I am not sure how many of us have deeply reflected that I will die. How many of us have written our will, arranged everything, set up everything, because I know maybe I'll be facing this death. It is not necessarily a pessimistic view of life. It can also be seen as a very practical view of life. Because every day, according to official figures, some 4,000 odd people are dying from this pandemic. Add to that the regular people who die. Any given day, there are thousands of people dying. Any given day. Hundreds of people die from accident, suicide, and disease and old age. Hundreds and thousands of people die. Death is always there. It is always there. It has always been. It will always be. Only our media has made a big hullabulla out of it, because media has to do that to earn their money. Otherwise, who will watch them? So death has always been there. Epidemics have been there. Countless epidemics. Famines. Lakhs of people have died in famines. So death is there now also with us. Only the new thing is this media. Someone died in America, and I am 24 hours bombarded with that. That was not there earlier. So Sri Ramakrishna therefore advises, Sri Ramakrishna is the guru of Swami Vivekananda. He advises, it is good to prepare for death. You prepare for your exam, you prepare for your wedding, you prepare for your interview, you prepare for something to go on a tour. He says, do all that, that's fine. But also be prepared for death. When you do so many preparations, prepare also for death. I am preparing for this talk, I am preparing the lunch, I am preparing for the evening program. Very good. Simultaneously also prepare for death. What does this mean? And how do we do that? Sri Ramakrishna gives the example of a woman preparing flattened rice. I quote from the great master, the authoritative biography of Sri Ramakrishna, written by his direct disciple, Swami Sharadananda. At Kamarpukur, Sri Ramakrishna is telling this. At Kamarpukur is his birthplace, a small village 100 kilometers away from Calcutta. At Kamarpukur, I have seen the women of the carpenter families selling flattened rice. Let me tell you how alert they are while doing their business. The pestle of the husking machine that flattens the paddy constantly falls into the hole of the mortar. There is a stone with a hole into which this paddy is put. One lady is standing with her leg on the pestle on one side, and she keeps stepping on it. As she lifts her leg, it drops down into the hole, and that is very strong, that portion which drops into the hole, because it has to smash this paddy and dehusk them, remove the husk. And one lady will be sitting below, turning that paddy, so that the bottom one comes up, and once it is all done, she will remove it and push in new paddy. This lady is the focus of this. The woman turns the paddy in the hole with one hand, and with the other, she holds her baby on her lap and she nurses it. You should visualize this scene. Two ladies are husking this paddy. One is stepping on it so that the pestle rises up and comes down with a force into the hole where the paddy is kept. And the main lady, who is sitting below, turning over the paddy and removing it when it is husked. Husk is removed, removing the flattened rice. That lady, in one hand, she is doing that, and she has to do that when the pestle goes up. And before it falls down, she has to remove her hand. When it goes up, immediately she will turn it, remove the flattened, push some more paddy. Before this comes down, she has to remove her hand. A little delay in that lady may not notice that she has not removed her hand. She will be going in a rhythm. Then it will fall on her hand, and that will be the end of her hand. It will be crushed. So she has to maintain that time, sense of time, and she has to be very quick, and she has to be alert to do all this. Now she is doing this with one hand, sitting next to that hole in the mortar. Simultaneously, in the other hand, she has her small baby, and she is feeding milk, breastfeeding the baby. This is the scene. And what else she does? In the meantime, customers arrive. They have come to buy the flattened rice. The machine goes on pounding the paddy, and she carries on her bargains with the customers. She says to them, "Pay the few pennies you owe me before you take anything more." You see, she has all these things to do at the same time. Nurse the baby at her breast, turn the paddy as the pestle pounds it, take the flattened rice out of the hole, and talk to the buyers. All this she's doing. Simultaneously, multifunctioning, as we call now, multitasking. She's doing that. But when she's doing all these activities, how is her mind shared? In all this, 75% of her mind is on the pestle. It is going up, coming down, going up, coming down. 75% of her mind is on that, lest it should crush her hand. If the attention comes more to the baby, if it goes more towards the customer, then her attention will be not sharp enough for her to withdraw her hand in time, and it may be crushed. If it falls, it breaks, the fingers break. In all of this, 75% of her mind is on the pestle, lest it to crush her hand. With only 25% of her mind, she engages with the world. Likewise, we should perform our duties in life and can also experience the joys and sorrows of Artha and Kama with just 25% of our mind. The quote ends there. I am extending this. What is she doing? She is feeding the baby. There is a sense pleasure. She is bargaining the economic part of it, Artha. And both of these are a mixture of happiness and sorrow. She is experiencing them. But The greater part of our mind is on that pestle of death, Sri Ramakrishna calls it. Any moment it will fall and crush you to death. So she has kept her mind on that, the greater part of the mind. It is not meditating on death like, oh, I am going to die, oh, I am going to die. No, it is not that. The focus of the lady is not so much on the pestle falling down. It is on removing the dehusked flattened rice. The real focus is there. When she is doing that, she has to be careful to avoid that pestle which comes down. When it goes up in that short period of interval of time, she has to rush in to the hole, turn the paddy upside down, roll it, revolve it around, or remove the flattened rice, and then push in the new paddy. So what she is actually doing is, and what we are asked to do with this example is, we should remove the husk and attain the reality. That is the rice. What is it? Attain the reality which is masked in this manifested universe. The reality, the truth, is covered, just like the rice is covered in the husk. You cannot eat the husk. You have to remove it, then you are nourished. And if you don't remove it, you don't know there is a rice inside it. It is hidden. The truth of this, whatever it is we call reality, is in this manifested universe. Only I don't know how to see it. And that perceiving the inner truth, essence, is what is called dehusking. When you do that, you realize the truth. What is this truth? There are so many names in which it is termed. Self-realization, God realization are two terms. So this I can do if I give the larger part of my mind to this activity. What is that? Dehusking. And in that process of dehusking, I know one day the pestle will fall on my hand. Death will come. This body will go. Before it goes, let me do this. So that is what being ready for death means. Being ready for death means finishing the highest task of human life before the pestle of death falls on me. And what is the highest task of human life? The highest purpose of human life? It is self-discovery, self-realization, or God-realization. It depends on the path of sadhana, how we term it. Now, this is the goal. For that, we have to prepare ourselves. In another way, this is called preparing for death. Death is not something that I have to worry about and think about day and night. I only keep in mind, one day this will stop, or it will break my hand, whatever way I want to understand. And I have to focus on this task of removing the husk, discovering the truth, so that I am energized, nourished, I realize what I am. I become immortal. That's what the Upanishads tell us. Now that is the preparation I have to do. Preparing for death means this removing the husk and discovering the truth as it is manifested in the universe, as it is manifested in me. The same truth is inside me, outside me. This I have to discover. And for that, this is the example Sri Ramakrishna gives. 75% of your mind you have to keep here. With the remaining 25%, you can do all other activities. Enjoy the sense experiences, suffer the sense experiences, enjoy all those possessions you want to acquire, and then suffer from that also. So experience bhoga is the word. Bhoga means both sukha, dukkha. There can never be only sukha. Nothing in this world can bring only sukha, happiness, because they go together. Like life and death, birth and death, happiness and sorrow go together. Anything which gives me happiness brings in its turn also sorrow at some point of time. It may be in different forms, not necessarily death only. It can come in so many other different forms. Irritation, and then misunderstanding, and then disgust. So many other things come, and headache comes with that. So that is life. When you want to experience life, you have to accept both pleasure and pain. There is nothing in this universe which can give only pleasure. It brings pain also. Now I accept this. I'll experience it because I have chosen to experience. But I don't have to give my whole mind to it. 25% of my mind is enough. And Sri Ramakrishna's direct disciple, the first president of the Ramakrishna order, Swami Brahmananda, he says, with just 25% of your mind, you can do all your duties in the world in the most exceptional manner. Remaining 75%, you can hold on to God, the truth within you. We find this is not practical because we don't have the power of concentration, of focus. So we think that I have to give the whole mind to the world, to the work I have at hand. In truth, we never do that. A large part of the mind's energy is frittered away in involuntary thinking, imagination, and some other regret, things like that. So we never give full attention to the task at hand. That being the case, it is not correct to argue, though if you give your mind wholly to God, 75%, you cannot work in this world, your relationships will suffer. That is not true. If you are able to concentrate, then 25% is enough to do your work very efficiently and effectively. 75% can be kept on this de-husking, discovering the truth. Now, how do I do this? Constant practice of thinking of God. That is the method. Constant recollectedness of God. And the aid, again, if I ask, how do I recollect God constantly? I have so many works to do. The sadhana paddhati is according to our sampradayas. But in general, we are told japa, repeating the mantra that is called japa, meditation, worship, singing the glories of the Lord, being in the company of devotees. All these will help us to turn the mind towards God. Turn the mind towards my true self, as you wish. You don't like the concept of God, then you can say turning the mind within to discover myself. So this turning the mind within, turning the mind towards God, is preparing for death. What does that preparing for death mean? I will be finishing my task. And that task is self-realization, God-realization. If I can do that before the pestle of death falls on me, I have achieved the purpose of life. And I have prepared myself now to face death very cheerfully because I have done what I had to do. As a human being, after being born, what I had to do, I have done now. So I am prepared to face death. If we are not prepared to face death, then there is misery, terrible misery. If we are attached, then we don't want to go. We cling. The patient clings to the hospital bed, cot. He holds the cot because he is afraid he will be snatched away by death. He begs the doctor, please save me, please save me. I don't want to die. So he is not prepared for death. Didn't he know he will die? Even a 70, 75-year-old man, he clings to life. This, in spiritual life, this clinging to life is called abhinivesha. It is recognized as one of the 5 obstacles for spiritual sadhakas. The last one is called, 5th one is called abhinivesha, clinging to life. Clinging to life means being afraid of death. I hold on to life. You may talk a lot, you may listen to a lot of lectures like this, but unless that inner experience has come, we are clinging to life. Talking is one thing. And when I suddenly face death face to face, if I am not ready for it, the mind is thrown into confusion. Fear confuses the mind. And then all the attachments rise up with strong strength, and all the vasanas lying low will rise up. And that mind is in turmoil. It cannot think of God. If we have realized the truth before this final moment, then that's a different story. So if I have not realized this truth, self-realization or God-realization before the final moment, then what will happen? I have been remembering God all my life, but nothing much I have achieved. So is it a failed life? No, it is not a failed life. If that practice has been sincere, then at the moment of death, I will be able to remember God. We see many people even now doing this. Just some 3 months ago, I heard about a devotee. The only son of this couple, he has joined our order. So this devotee couple went to one of our ashramas on one of the Tithi Pujas, birthdays of the direct disciples of Sri Ramakrishna. They spent the whole day in the ashram attending the puja homa, evening bhajans, arati bhajans. Then the ladies sat in meditation in the temple. Then they went to the guest room. Again she meditated for long. Then the bell went for the night dinner, prasad. So husband and wife started walking towards the dining hall. On the path, she said, let me once again bow down to Sri Ramakrishna in the mandir. Mandir is already closed, temple is closed. But she went and bowed down outside the door, closed door. Husband is waiting. And as she came back, he could not recognize her for some strange reason. Then when she came very close, he recognized, this is my wife. When she came, she's told, I have some breathing problem. She sat down. Another Swami came. What happened? She said, I'm unable to breathe. And the next moment, she was dead. So until the last moment, she was in remembrance of Sri Ramakrishna. There were more powerful examples like this. With the last breath, many sadhus we have seen in our own order, outside devotees also, they hold on to the memory of God, repeat His name, take His name, and leave this world. Is this such a big thing? Why make a big issue of this? In the Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna tells, I quote, for whatever object a man thinks of at the final moment when he leaves his body, that alone does he attain, being ever absorbed in the thought thereof. So when I leave this body at the final moment of departure, what are my thoughts? What am I feeling and what am I holding on to? That makes all the difference in where I'll be going. Birth and death, life is a journey, continuous journey. Birth and death are two repeated, related events in it. Now what happens after this death, that is the disintegration of this body, what happens? That to a large extent, it depends on my final thoughts, feelings when I'm leaving this body. So even if our mind still has some vasanas, and if we give up the body praying to God and meditating on Him, Sri Ramakrishna says, then He will take us to His abode, just as the Mahut, the elephant trainer, he takes the elephant after its bath immediately into the stable. He doesn't allow the elephant to go and play in the mud. If he does that, the elephant will throw mud on itself. So all that bath given is wasted. So you could not realize the truth in this life, but at that last moment, if you are able to remember God, then God will take you to His abode. This is the promise of Sri Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. Now, how do we keep our attention on the pestle of death? What will happen when we do so? We have told you have to keep attention, 75% of the mind. And pestle of death means not simply meditating on death, meditating on the highest task of human life, which is to discover my true self. How do I do this? And what does this constant recollection of death mean? In practically, what will happen to me when I do that? Here we will recollect what we discussed 1 year ago, almost 1 year ago. 2020, May 24th, we had a talk, similar talk on death. Beginning and end, I think that's the title it was given, because some are afraid even with the title of death. People are afraid to even listen to the word death. Please now listen to this. What happened one day in the life of Swami Vivekananda. This is an event which occurred at the Belur Math, the headquarters of the Ramakrishna order. Swamiji was living in his room then. So one of his devotees, householder devotees, who has recorded this, he writes, one day, I quote, one day with some of my young friends belonging to the different colleges, I went to the Belur Math to see Swamiji. Swamiji means Swami Vivekananda. We sat round him. Talks on various subjects were going on. No sooner was my question put to him than he gave the most conclusive answer to it. Suddenly he exclaimed, pointing to us, "You are all studying different schools of European philosophy and metaphysics and learning new facts about nationalities and countries. Can you tell me what is the grandest of all the truths in life? What is the grandest of all the truths in life?" We began to think, but could not make out what he wanted us to say. As none put forth any reply, he exclaimed in his inspired language, "Look here, we shall all die. Look here, we shall all die. Bear this in mind always, and then the spirit within will wake up. Then only meanness will vanish from you, practicality in work will come, you will get new vigor in mind and body, and those who come in contact with you will also feel that they have really got something uplifting from you. These are the benefits by meditating on death." Then the following conversation took place between him and myself. "But Swamiji, will not the spirit break down at the thought of death and the heart be overpowered by despondency?" Swamiji, "Quite so. At first the heart will break down and despondency and gloomy thoughts will occupy the mind, but persist. Let days pass like that. And then you will see that new strength has come into the heart, that the constant thought of death is giving you a new life and making you more and more thoughtful by bringing every moment before your mind's eye the truth of the saying, vanity of vanities, all is vanity." Yes, initially, if you go on thinking about death, it will break down your spirit, heart will be overcome by despondency. Yes, it is true. Gloomy thoughts will occupy your mind, but persist. Continue. Let days pass like that. Then what will happen? There will be a total change. A new strength has come into the heart. Constant thought of death is giving you a new life, making you more thoughtful, more and more thoughtful. Wait, let months, days, months and years pass, and you will feel that the spirit within is waking up with the strength of a lion. That the little power which has transformed itself into a mighty power. Think of death always, and you will realize the truth of every word I say. What more shall I say in words? You just practice what I have told you. What more can I tell you? You meditate on death, power will come. And you will see yourself transformed into a mighty power. Then this devotee writes, "One of my friends praised Swamiji in a low voice. Immediately Swamiji replied, 'Do not praise me. Praise and censure have no value in this world of ours. They only rock a man as if in a swing. Praise I have had enough. Showers of censure also I have had enough. But what avails thinking of them? Let everyone go on doing his own duty unconcerned. You do your duty, I will do my duty. Unconcerned of what other people talk and what will happen or not happen. When the last moment arrives, praise and blame will be the same to you, to me, and to others. A dying man, will he be very disturbed because you told something or something happened? No, he will not be bothered by praise or blame. We are here to work and will have to leave all when the call comes. We are here to work and will have to leave all when the call comes. So this is almost a kind of a spiritual sadhana, contemplating on death, the grandest of all truths in life, as Swamiji puts it. The initial results, heart will be broken, mind will be filled with gloomy thoughts. Eventual final results, after months and years of practice, the inner spirit will wake up with the strength of a lion. A new life will begin in which the heart is filled with strength and the mind becomes more thoughtful. Meanness will vanish. We will become more practical in work. Our influence on others will uplift us. All this will happen when we meditate on that. That's what Swamiji prescribed to this group of college students who visited him in Belur Math. Now, in the beginning we saw, when we are discussing death or facing death, it means death of myself, death of my close relatives, and then death of people in society. Now, how to accept death of close relatives? The mind usually in the very beginning will take a negative approach. Even if I have had a good relation with him, it will see some old, let us put it like this. This mind, it will take a very negative approach. Why this should have happened to me? Why did God do this to me? Why did he have to go so early in life? And you see, we worshipped God and still this has happened to us. And there are feelings of regret. Regret like, oh, he should not have done this. I should not have done this to him or her. Or this should have been done. So this is the kind of normal flow of thoughts when we find our close relatives die. So the Gita tells us, to that which is born, death is certain, and to that which is dead, birth is certain. Therefore, you should not grieve over the unavoidable. You should not grieve over the unavoidable. Very clear. It is a shadow of life. You have taken birth, death is waiting for you. It is not pessimistic. You don't have to make it pessimistic. When people become pessimistic, they see death as something bad. It is like the ostrich hiding its head in the sand and thinking nobody sees me. Or the cat, they say, closes its eyes when it drinks its milk, maybe, thinking nobody sees me. No, that is not the approach to death. It is the grand truth of life. I have to accept it. And accepting it means making the best possible use of this time. This body, this mind, this time. Making the best possible use of it. That is what accepting death means. I know it will end, and before it ends, I will remove the husk and take out this rice. That is the highest duty as a human being I have. Now, when I have this attitude towards death, that it is a reality, and I will accept it, then I will not be so disturbed when my own near and dear ones die. My father died, my mother died. Yes, it will be painful. Won't it be painful? No amount of philosophy will work. It is very painful. What will happen to them? They will go ahead in life. They will take some other birth. When they will take this birth, where they will take this birth, we don't know. And it doesn't matter in any way to them or to us. Do I know where my father was born before he took this birth? He had a birth before this birth. Where was that? Who was he, a man or a woman? That I don't know. This life he took birth here and he gave birth to me. That's all I know. Now, once he has dropped that body, where has he gone? What is he doing? I don't know. So what shall I do now? This we can do. What? Send thoughts and feelings. Send your deepest thoughts and feelings to your departed, whoever that close relative is. Because thoughts and feelings travel. Not just here, it can travel in the universe. If your thoughts and feelings are powerful, they travel in the universe across the different locus. So send your deepest feelings of gratitude, of love to your dear ones who have passed away. If it is someone elder to you, you express your gratitude. If it is someone your age or younger to you, you express your love. That whenever you remember them, if it is elder, immediately remember them, send your thoughts and feelings of gratitude. Maybe you didn't express it when you were alive, he was alive or she was alive. Now you send it out. If it is someone your age or younger to you, immediately send out thoughts and feelings of love. It should not be, I miss you, I am crying for you. Because that is not practical. And you are not supposed to do that. You know we will be separated one day. Either you or me, one of us would leave. Husband and wife. One of them will go definitely. Rarely both of them go simultaneously. Usually one goes before the other. It is known. There is nobody who will not die. So, oh, I miss you will not help. I am thankful to you, grateful to you, and expression of love. And how will that love go out? It will go out as blessing. Be peaceful. You can pray to God. Intensely pray to God, even if you don't believe in God. If you just know that there is a power and intelligence which has created this universe, pray to that to give them peace and strength. Whoever that relative is, pray to God, give him peace, give him strength. And this prayer, if it is intense, it reaches and it helps them. So whenever you remember them, you will feel gratitude, love, and send thoughts of peace. This is one thing. Second, you should not try to stop remembering that death. Some people, they go to cinema or they take their mind off from that, as they say. It is so painful, I want to be engaged in work. I want to forget this death. That also is not good. Why? This bereavement, this separation can be used. It can be used as an opportunity to understand death, to inquire into the meaning of life. Now, understanding is a process. It will take days, weeks, months. So if I accept death as a mystery, which I have to understand, then I will be engaged with it. I will go deeper into life. I will come to this point, which we have already discussed, that I have to know what is the meaning of this life. What is the purpose of this life? And the meaning and purpose of this life, as all the scriptures and saints declare, as Sri Ramakrishna tells, is God realization or self-realization. So this will be the outcome. I will go on thinking of this death. So as an outcome, I will go deeper and deeper into my own life, and I will learn to appreciate life. Many of us, we are ungrateful. Everything, we have 2 meals, 3 meals, 4 meals a day. We have everything. Still, we don't have that sense of gratitude. So we will appreciate life. Thank God, thank whatever it is, fate, or thank my parents, thank myself for what I have. I am alive now. I am in this body, and it is fairly going well. So I learn to appreciate life, and I'll become sensitive. Sensitive to the feelings of others, sensitive to people's sufferings, their needs, that will come. And we'll be filled with concern and love for them. That sensitivity will express itself as feelings of concern, love, service. So these are the outcomes, the benefits of thinking about death again and again. As Swamiji says, you will, after some years of experience, practice, you will see the inner spirit will wake up, the strength of lion will wake up. A new life will begin, mind will become more thoughtful, and your heart will be filled with strength. Meanness will vanish. You'll become more practical in work, and your influence on others will uplift them. All this will happen when I meditate on death. Now, the third aspect of death, how to console. How do I console someone who has lost his near and dear one? I have seen my own death. I have understood what I should do. I have seen the death of my near relatives once, what I should do, send out these thoughts and all. Now, I will pray for these other people in society also, but friends, neighbors, not so much disturbed. How do I console them? One day, Sri Ramakrishna was sitting in his room at Dakshineshwar. The room was filled with his devotees. Then there entered this devotee, householder devotee called Mani Mohan Malik. He came and sat in a corner looking very pale and haggard. After some time, Sri Ramakrishna saw this fellow is sitting there in the corner. So he asked him, "Hello, why do you look so sad?" And that man replied, "My son died today. I am coming straight after finishing the cremation rituals." Everyone is shocked. He's an aged man and he's telling, "My son died today. I just finished the cremation rituals. I'm coming here straight." Now, all those other devotees who were listening to him, they started expressing their sorrow and they tried to console him. All cliched words. "ये दुनिया ऐसा ही है, सबको जाना है, एक दिन क्या कर सकते हैं, भगवान को प्रार्थना कीजिए." All these talk words which we have to console people. अगर कुछ ज़रूरत पड़े तो हमको याद कीजिए. So many things. We go on telling this. Everyone does that. And then they act on it with sincerity also. So the devotees did that. But Sri Ramakrishna sat silent. When the devotees stopped, Sri Ramakrishna, who was listening to the old man, he entered into a higher state of consciousness and suddenly stood up. And with the pose and energy of a wrestler, he suddenly stood up and he took the posture of a wrestler and he struck his left arm with his right hand. And he began singing with a great vigor. Unprecedented. They had never seen him with that kind of vigor singing this song. What is this song? Oh man, prepare yourself for battle. There, see, death entering your house in battle array. Therefore, ride on the chariot of great virtue. Harness to it the two horses of devotion and spiritual practice. Stretch up the bow of knowledge and set the unfailing arrow of the love of God. It goes another 3-4 lines. But he sang this song, and the tune of the song expressing great vigor and the appropriate gestures coupled with the spirit of heroic renunciation and strength that was emanating from the eyes of Sri Ramakrishna, it produced in the hearts of all the devotees a current of wonderful hope and energy. They were all feeling so downcast. Oh, poor man, he lost his only son. And suddenly Sri Ramakrishna sang this song, and then that power coming out of his personality, the renunciation blazing from his eyes, it uplifted their minds. So it filled their hearts with a current of wonderful hope and energy. Their hearts were raised from the realm of grief and delusion and filled with a wonderful bliss which was beyond the senses. Mani Mohan too felt it in his heart, forgot the agonizing grief and sat calm, grave and in perfect peace. The man who has just cremated his boy, his son, is now become peaceful. What happened? Sri Ramakrishna lifted his mind, the Mani Mohan's mind and the devotee's mind. How was it possible? Why others could not lift? They also expressed their sorrow. They did not sing a song, but in prose also they tried to express their sorrow and pacify him. The reason is they are not established in Trikarana Shuddhi, Mon Mukh Ek Kora, as Sri Ramakrishna says. They themselves continue to enjoy the sense pleasures and the sensory world, and they are attached to their bodies. So when they tell someone, oh, don't cry, sabko ek din jana hai, wo to nahi marenge, atma amar hai. These are all simply words because they have not experienced it, they are not living it. Now Sri Ramakrishna lived that life. And that was the source of the strength. When he spoke, there was power in his words. After lifting his mind like this, Sri Ramakrishna sat next to Mani Mohan and accepted that bereavement is a very painful experience. First he told, yes, death has come, now get up, fight with it. How? Taking the name of the Divine Mother. All that he said, and he lifted their minds, and now that mind is ready to listen. When there is profound grief, that mind cannot listen. Even if it listens, it cannot understand, it cannot make correct connections. So what Sri Ramakrishna did, Mani Mohan's life he lifted up from that deep sorrow. Now he is giving him the truths of life. He shared his own experience of losing his nephew, his elder brother's son. So this is a boy called Akshay. Sri Ramakrishna almost brought up this boy from his childhood. Now that boy, young man, he is dying. Akshay died. I quote Sri Ramakrishna. Akshay died. I felt nothing at that time. I was standing and was witnessing how man dies. I saw there was, as it were, a sword in a sheath, and the sword was brought out of it. The sword was not at all affected. He remained as it was, and the sheath lay there. I felt great joy to see it. I laughed and sang and danced. Imagine, his nephew has died. He is laughing, dancing, and singing. People considered him mad. Then they burnt the body and returned. The next day I was standing here, he pointed to a veranda. And then do you know what I felt? I felt as if my heart was being wrung in the way a wet towel is wrung. That kind of a pain. Yesterday he danced, sang, and was very happy. He laughed, seeing at his nephew dying, because he saw the spirit come out, the Atma come out of the body, unscathed. So he says, what is there to cry? But next day he remembered his nephew, young boy. He's a young man now, married already, and he misses him. So he cries. This Sri Ramakrishna state is a very advanced state where he says, I accept the whole universe, the Leela and the Nitya, the unmanifested condition of life. Both I accept. So the final statement of Sri Ramakrishna is this. One is aware of pleasure and pain, birth and death, disease and grief, the dualities of life in short. As long as one is identified with the body, all these belong to the body alone. That is the truth. What is death? Birth and death. It belongs to the body. All the other things, dualities of life, they belong to the body. So this body will go one day. Be ready for it. And how will you be ready for it? And what does it mean, being ready for death? Being ready for death means finishing the task you have come to do. And that task is self-realization or God-realization. Discover the truth about yourself. What is life? Who am I? What am I? And once you have done that, you say, now death can come. I have already packed up. I am ready to go. It doesn't matter whether it comes now or after another 20 years. And if I have not realized the truth, even after repeated practice, still there is hope. At the last moment, if I can remember God, then also it will work. But to remember God at the last moment, you should have practiced sadhana all through your life. Or else you will die raving some nonsense and abracadabra you will be talking. So this is preparing for death, my own personal death. Then accepting the death of my close relatives, pray, send your thoughts of love, send your thoughts of gratitude, pray to God, please give him, please give her strength and peace. Continuously, whenever you remember, this is all you should do. Why did he go? Why did she go? Oh, what will I do? You will do something, right? Now, whether you're more bothered and worrying about what you will do, or you are crying and feeling sad for that person who has left, that depends on what you want to do. If you are more concerned about the person who has left, then the best way you can express your concern is send thoughts of prayer. Be peaceful, be happy, send thoughts of gratitude. Do this, it reaches them. That is how to face death of the dear ones, near and dear ones. Facing the death of people outside and consoling them, they have faced death and I have to console them. Then this Ramakrishna's method. First, raise your own level of consciousness and you don't have to talk much. Your very presence will help them. It will help them. It will suck out that sorrow from them. There are many instances like that. I'll conclude with one. One day, Sri Sharada Devi, Holy Mother Sri Sharada Devi, the divine wife of Sri Ramakrishna, she is in Jairambati, which is another 10 kilometers away from Kamarpur. One day, a householder lady came crying, intensely crying, sobbing. Her only child, she is a widow, and her only son has now died. What more misery do you want? And when she is crying, Sri Sharada Devi also started crying intensely. Both of them were wailing, shouting and wailing. All the brahmachari sadhus came running. What has happened? Why is Holy Mother Sri Sharada Devi crying like this? They are stunned to see these two ladies crying. After some time, this mother who lost the son, she composed herself and she started pacifying Holy Mother Sharada Devi, who was still crying. Oh mother, don't cry, what else can be done? Sab vidhi ke likha hai, all those things. Then people understood, Holy Mother has simply sucked out this, whatever sorrow was there in the woman's heart, she has experienced it for her. Her intense power of empathizing has sucked out, removed that sorrow from the mother's heart. And she goes back now with less burden. That is the best we can help anyone. Words do not matter much. But it is better than not talking at all. But real help will come from the heart. And that if we are spiritually trained. So these are some thoughts about accepting death. Please reflect on it. Swamiji says, meditate on them. Power will come, meanness will go, priorities in life will become very clear, you'll become more practical in work, and your influence on others will uplift them. All these benefits when we meditate on death. So don't see death as something negative. It is a reality, the greatest truth of life. If I know it, I will know how to live life.